Hey, how are you? It's really hard to see me because it's pretty dark. Mm. Oh, but you know me, I have another iced cappuccino. Oh, yeah. I'm just putting some music on. It'll do. How about a little Nirvana? We're stupid and contagious. Yes, we are. So I have that delicious beef sandwich again that I had there a while ago. And, it's taken a while to get this beef sandwich again here because they've had a shortage of this delicious beef. I'm so hungry. Yeah. So, I was thinking today. Oh, this is a good song. Okay, so what I was saying was I had a little discussion about trains today. And I think trains are amazing. So much so that I frequently thought about, like, over the years, like, how cool it might be, or fun, or whatever the fuck, it might be to have been a train conductor. Like, the person that drives the train. Because one time, I was watching this documentary about driving trains. Just a sec, I gotta pause you. Alright, I'm back. Okay. Yeah, so I kind of thought it'd be neat to, operate a train. Oh, yeah, so I was talking about the documentary I was watching. Oh, excuse me. So, anyhow, there was this guy who drove a train, and he loved it, blah, blah, blah. Got to see all these places, and all across Canada and such. The only thing was, or the big drawback to the job was the fact that you get to, so you can't stop a train on a dime, right? Like, this is not going to happen. So, as a result, you're going to end up killing things. Like, you're going to run over people, you're going to strike vehicles, you're going to hit wildlife, you're going to hit farm animals, you're just going to plow through all this stuff. So, when they asked him, like, what do you do when you see something on the tracks but you can't stop? He's like, well, you just turn your head and don't look. I was like, okay. But besides that disturbing part, I don't know. I just think the trains are awesome. I'm not, like, big on the whole airplane thing. Like, that's not, no, I would never want to fly a plane. But I think it would be really freaking cool to operate a train. And you can call it my crazy train. Chris's crazy train. Anyways, this is, like a career thought. Now, when I was a kid in elementary school, they'd be like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? So I had, thought, you go through all these different things. Like, well, I did. Like, for example, at one point I thought, maybe I'd like to be a doctor. And then another year, it was like, maybe I want to be a writer. And then, I don't know. I remember those ones. And then you get to, high school, right? Say, senior high. And when they start trying to pressure you into, deciding what you want to, if you're going to go to college or university or just get a job or fucking whatever, right? And, at that point in my life, I had this weird fascination. Anyways, I had this, I don't want to say it's fascination, because that's not the right word. I had this interest to become, to get into funeral services. I know, right? Can you imagine me working in a funeral home? So, anyhow, but this meant that, I really could have, applied to get into, I think it's in the Valley, King's Tech College or something. I could have went there. I don't know today, but back then, I think that was the only place you could go to study funeral services. There's a prerequisite to it, I do believe. Remember, you have to go, I think, and learn. You kind of have to spend a certain amount of hours, I do believe, in a funeral home learning about, the tombstone, the headstones and all that stuff. And then... Oh, sorry, distracted. And, just stuff that, kind of to prepare you for getting into the course. Well, I never did pursue that, but when my great-grandmother died, and at her wake, yeah, it would have to be the wake, in Pugwash, oh frig, how old? I don't know if I was in grade 10 or 11. I don't think it was grade, I'm pretty sure it wasn't grade 12. Anyways, it was her wake, and I was there, and, I thought it was, my grandparents thought it'd be a good opportunity for me to talk to one of the funeral directors there, this guy named Paul. So I had a nice little interview with him at my great-grandmother's wake, and him talking about what it was like to work in a funeral home, and how, you basically, in that line of work, you have to keep a sense of humor, right? Because you're gonna see things that's really hard, for example, he said that one of the hardest things about the job was, when they would bring children in, right? Stuff like that. But, elderly people were one thing, it's sad, but see, they got to live their life, right? And, children never really got that chance. So, it's sad. But, anyways. A really nice fella said, something I never forgot, but he said, you have to keep a sense of humor even with death, or you're not going to make it. So, anyhow, that was, it was a good interview, or not interview, but a talk with him and stuff. And I was actually, invited, if I went to the community college, took the course, he told me I could have came back and apprenticed in Pugwash at the funeral home there. Oh, I never did do that, right? So, anyways, basically I had a few people think that it wasn't for me. Um, I wouldn't, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I mean, maybe I couldn't have. I don't know, right? I never did do it, so. But anyhow, let's just skip to what I did choose. So then eventually I just chose something easy like cooking, right? So then I actually got accepted to two different colleges for that. Like one in Halifax, and I forget it was Leafburg. I can't remember what that one was called. It was under a different name. I don't know. Anyway, and then I also got a letter that I was accepted into at the Pictou NSCC Pictou campus in Stellarton. I mean, like, because everybody seemed to be going to Halifax and such, and I thought, well, you know what? Like, I'm gonna do something different, and I'm gonna go and do the course. Okay, I'm back. Get distracted. Okay. Anyway, so I decided that, fuck it, I'm gonna go to Stellarton because it's different. Like, it was a little town by New Glasgow, and, anyway, so I went there, and, I think that was a good decision. It was a small class, which really helps. I think there was 10 of us that year in 2001. Can't believe it's been that long. What I found really interesting about that, not so much the course, but what it was the fact that the day, I think it was the second day there with the orientation, I think, when we were in the classroom. See, with the cooking course, you had the kitchen, and then you had your theory part, right? What's the classroom stuff where you did your written tests and stuff, because we also had tests that we did in the kitchen, or exams, right? Where we had hands-on, where we made stuff and was tested. So we, I think orientation day or something, we all had to introduce ourselves to the class. I was definitely a fish out of water because I was the only person from Cumberland County. Like, not everybody, but most of the people in the class were from Pictou counties, and that's cool. Anyways, so we're introducing ourselves, and it's just interesting because one of the girls in the class who I became friends with, when she introduced herself, she actually told the class that she wanted to go into funeral services. But she went one step ahead of me. She actually did the prerequisite in a funeral home. So that was interesting. So I just thought it was really strange how the two of us both wanted to thought about funeral services, and lo and behold, here we both were in the same class taking cooking. Yeah, kind of weird, strange, but interesting. Made things interesting. Well, that was an interesting situation, that class, taking that course. But anyways, so I kind of wonder, like, I could have went into funeral services, right? I guess you can say that you'd always be in business, right? Business booming. Everybody's gonna die, right? Sometime. So, yeah, it's just one of them things. They would always be looking for people for that, right? Well, food too, really. I guess, that's useful. But, yeah. Didn't do the funeral thing. And then I took a writing course, actually. 2004. Then I finished it in 2008. So I did 4 years of working on writing. It was actually, I did it at home. It was a correspondence course. I had to do all these projects on my own. And it was like children's literature, writing for children, young adults. And it was an interesting experience. I actually did quite well in the course. I did so well that when I graduated from it in 2008, I got a letter because I was chosen to take the advanced course, where the last project that I had done in the writing course was you actually had to write an outline for a novel. And and then you had to submit the first few chapters. So I actually had done that. I think it was the first 3 chapters that I sent in. And I mean, I still have all my material. I just never, oh my God, I just never finished it, right? Like, I mean, holy fuck. Like, you're talking about, like, I did the whole outline for this fucking novel, right? And then all these ideas. Anyways, it never got off the ground. But, it was pretty good. Like, I should say pretty good. The teacher that I had for that really liked it. Like I said, it was good enough. My material was good enough to be, I could be in the advanced course. And I never did do it because, I mean, it's money. You gotta pay for it, right? But the advanced level of the course would have been that I would have taken that last project with the outline of the novel concept that I had in the chapters. The whole second advanced course would have been to actually finish that project, that novel, and they would help you get it published, right? Because the teachers that you have in that course are already published authors, right? Like, they're already writers. So, anyways, I never did do that. I don't know if I could still go back and do that. Like, I probably still had a student number or something. Anyways, but it doesn't really matter. And then I thought, you know what? It would be a great idea to take a metaphysical course or on astrology and stuff, right? I know, like, this is something that I've kept to myself mostly. Most people don't know about this. And I don't, like, I have, I graduated from that. I did this at home. This I also graduated from in my own time. And I did really well in that. Like, I can actually prove it later with my certificate. Like, I actually had high honors or something in this, it was astrology, I should say metaphysical, but it was astrology parapsychology course that I did at home. Like, yeah, it was really awesome because I did astrology and then I did I Ching, and then, what was it? I learned about psychometry and, numerology. I really like that. Like, the I Ching, I wasn't, there's a few things I'm not big on, right? Like, but the astrology was the main thing, and the numerology was wicked. Not very many people know that. So, this is something that I study kind of like, I don't want to say secretly, but like, I just do this on my own time whenever I feel like it. It'll be a lifelong learning thing. Because I mean, that little course I took, that's only part of the depth of astrology, what it really is. It's only like a piece of it. So, like, really, you could spend your whole life just learning and keep learning. Then I thought it would be in 2012. I thought it would be a cool idea to learn how to do Reiki, which is they call it hands-on healing, not massage, but it has to do with the energy points of the body and such. that was really cool. So I didn't get to the master level, but I was level 2. The next level would be, I think it was like master, something like that. Anyways, that was really interesting. And actually, Rob's done it too, but he only has the first level. But we actually use this on my cat, and she's really come around. I mean, it helped quite a bit, I'd say, because you do it to her, she seems like relaxed, right? And the main thing is you want, I mean, somebody's sick, you want them to be relaxed, right? Because it helps them heal better. So, anyways, but you know what's really funny about the Reiki is that after I learned how to do it, I got a massage table. I still have it. And what I did with the massage table was I used Rob as my guinea pig initially. So I put some nice music on, like no words, just like a nice soft relaxation music, and then have him lay on the table. And then I did the whole thing that I was supposed to do, like the sweeping the body and stuff like that. Now, this is the funny part about it. He's laying there, and this went on for probably about a half hour or so, right? But he's laying there, and he actually just fell asleep. And I kept doing what I was, like, the Reiki techniques and stuff through the whole body. I did all that. And then I had to wake him up. But he wakes up, and he thought he was awake the whole time. It was really weird, because, like, he said he could, like, I mean, he was snoring on the table. Like, it was funny, right? But he swore, like, he thought he was awake the whole time. And, because he, you know, like, it's interesting. There's so much I could say. I mean, that's just one thing, but, like, we've had experiences with stuff like astral projection, and we've tried exercises with, like, past life regression. That was quite a while ago. Very interesting. You should learn about the Akashic Records. Yep. I suggest looking into that. Anyways, so I'm just like ranting. It started off with like, oh, let's talk about the funeral home. And then it kind of switched to, yeah, the things I do in secret. Anyway, so I better go because I gotta get going. I just felt like talking to you. I mean, I'm really just talking to myself, but you're gonna hear it later, so it's all good. So anyways, I better cut this short. I won't be able to put this on Instagram because it's longer than 10 minutes. So this is definitely going to have to be a YouTuber. Anyways, I just want to say goodbye to everybody. And I wish you good night and hugs and kisses. Mm-hmm. And don't let the bed bugs bite. No, don't let them. Bye-bye.